The Ithaca College Bombers began their Liberty League play on Saturday when they faced off against the high-flying St. Lawrence University Saints. We have highlights from the game, and we're going to have Coach Dan Swanstrom in studio to break down all of Saturday's action. Alyssa Spady has your Liberty League roundup, and as always, Fourth and Goal has a lot to debate. This is the Gridiron Report, and it starts right now.
So the Nationals are losing a lot of production from last season, especially in Felix Ione, who hit .327. He's not with them for the fall season. Brian Dino and Will Lombardo, they both pitched, and Dino played first base. They're not going to be with them for the majority of the season, although they may return from time to time. Now, 33% of their offense from the summer isn't here, but with the talent they brought in going into the fall, they have a chance to make up that production. And you certainly did that. 8 strikeouts, only 5 hits allowed. I need to ask you, though, because in that last inning, it was a 3-1 game. They hit an RBI single to make it 3-2. And how do you respond? You come back with a strikeout to end the game. So how good did it feel to be in that pressure situation and to respond in such a big way?
So when we spoke during the week, you called the past couple of weeks some of the hardest of your coaching career. Why was that, and what did the team do to rebound? Welcome into the Gridiron Report. I'm your host, Matthias Wallman. Thanks for tuning in for everything Bombers football. We'll see in a bit if the Bombers moved up in the national rankings again, but for now we'll call them the 10th ranked Bombers. It's been a while since they were ranked this high. The last time they reached the top 10 was in 2006. Do you remember that year? I mean, the movies back then, Pirates of the Caribbean. You had things like Italy winning the World Cup, Super Bowl XL. It's been quite a while. I'm joined now, as always, by Coach Dan Swanstrom. Coach, thank you for stopping by. Just real quick, do you remember 2006? What were you doing back then?
2006 was my first year out of college, so I remember it very well.
For better or for worse?
No, it was good. I was at the University of Redlands. I was working there. In the spring, I was at my high school, so it was definitely an interesting time in your life when you're trying to figure out exactly what you're doing, but I was fortunate enough to know my sophomore year what my plans were, so.
Well, it's been working out well so far. Let's go back to before this Buffalo State game. What was the biggest adjustment you saw going from St. Lawrence to Buffalo State that the team had to make?
It's not about adjustments. I think it was just we just had to be solid with our preparation. Coach and staff did a great job of putting a plan together, and the players going out and executing it. And I thought the details were pretty solid this week, and I think we can actually prepare a lot better. I thought the week before going into the other game, I thought the details were a little tighter. The focus was a little tighter, and you know, as much as you want to stay focused, Buff State presented some challenges in the sense that they're coming off a bye week, so they had 2 weeks to prepare for us. This was their first league game, so even though they hadn't had success, it was like a rebirth for them. And so we really felt like we were going to get a very good effort from that team, and I'm glad that message came through our team, and they did what they needed to do to win the game on Saturday.
So their first conference game, they're coming off the bye week. Let's see exactly what Buffalo State was able to do this Saturday for Hall of Fame weekend. Let's take a look at the action. So the Bombers deferred, and then on the first play, go for the onside kick. Second time, Bahamonde has done that successfully this season. Kyrie Brown, no problem there. On the first drive, Germanario on the right side. Easy QB sneak. A little help from Dante Garcia from the back. His 3rd touchdown of the season. Then Germanario again is going to look for Andrew Vito. An absolute dime in the back of the end zone. 14-0 Bombers early. That's Vito's first touchdown since week 1. And then, stop me if you heard this one before, give the ball to Isaiah DeHady. Let the Mack truck run. Touchdown number 1 on the day. Then Germanario again, time to throw. He finds Andrew Vito. That's number 2 for him. 28-7 already. The Bombers are running up the score. And then it doesn't matter if it's on the ground or through the air. Isaiah DeHady makes it into the end zone again for him. Touchdown number 2, 35-7. Bombers lead. Now, Germanario, remind me if this is Germanario or Harry Houdini escaping pressure. He's going to find Mikey Anderson on the right side for a phenomenal catch. Toe tap on the side. They're going to call it a completion. And then Germanario to Gladney. The screen was a little high, but he climbs the ladder to get it. And the big man all the way down to Buffalo State territory. He's excited. How can you not be? And then Kendall Anderson, first rushing touchdown of the season. Bombers would come out with this one, 48-14 victory. And with a top 10 team losing, they are now ranked 9th in the nation. Coach, the field conditions may have not been super clean, but the offense was. 0 turnovers on the day. Was that a point of emphasis? And what did you guys do to prepare for that in the week?
I mean, not turning the ball over is always a point of emphasis. That doesn't change from right at this moment to Tuesday to last week. That's that's a 365 day, a year commitment to our program.
And with the field conditions a little messy, what did you guys do well to protect the ball? And does that change the play call at all with maybe a little more mud on the ground?
It's really a non-factor. There's things we do as a coaching staff with just slight adjustments, but it's very, very mild. And our players, we can play anywhere. Just put the ball down and we'll go execute and play anywhere.
And we saw that in the highlights. Something we didn't see in the highlights on 4th down, there's special teams coming out in some interesting sets and fake punts and going for on 4th down. Were you expecting that? And what adjustments did you make once you saw it?
Yeah, they've been pretty unique with their punt formations all year. They faked 3 punts against us yesterday, and we were fortunate to stop all 3. It was a great adjustments by that punt rush unit, coming out, finding out who the eligibles were, what they were trying to do. And even though it might not have been perfect and, the center, the snapper was technically eligible, they could have thrown passes to him. So it was very, very unique look. And, we got some smart, savvy players in this team, and they figured it out and they ran to the ball and stopped them. So those were huge plays. Those were like turnovers.
So over 100 rush yards on the day between Germanario, DeHady, and Kendall Anderson. Kendall Anderson might have been the person who was slated as the top running back, as the starter for this team, but it's been Isaiah DeHady with the majority of the carries. How do you determine game in and game out who's going to get the bulk of the carries? Is it a pregame decision or is it game flow?
No, best players play, and right now, Kendall's done a fantastic job for us and had a great game yesterday and was very productive. And Isaiah's just been more consistent at this point and has broken more tackles, and Kendall's going to have his moment, and he had his moment yesterday. He had his touchdown. So we have high expectations for Kendall. We have very high expectations for Isaiah. We have very high expectations for Dante Garcia. We've got very high expectations for AJ Clifford and Dakota Cross and Chase Hebron. It's a very talented group.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for joining me. Best of luck this week. Our very own Casey Honigbaum had a chance to go to Jim Butterfield Stadium and got all the action from a jam-packed Saturday. Thank you for that report, Casey. Coming up on the Gridiron Report, your Players of the Week, Alyssa's Liberty League update, and the 4th and Goal debate. So stick around and make sure you follow us on social media for a behind-the-scenes look every week. You can see on the board right there. The Gridiron Report. We'll be right back. There's nothing like the sound of a hitter smacking a baseball around in the batting cage. That was a welcome sound for the New Jersey Nationals 18U team, who returned to the baseball diamond this past weekend after nearly a month off. The spring was an emotional time for the members of the team, who didn't get to play for their respective high schools due to the coronavirus pandemic. They did, however, get to spend all of the summer together. As opposed to the summer campaign being delayed by about 2 weeks, the fall season started right on time. Center fielder Josh Miller admitted they are a little more comfortable to start the season than last.
Yeah, we've been able to have some more practices this fall, which has been good. We've been able to get the guys together more, so it's been great. We're getting more reps in. It's been great.
That's a good sign for the Nationals, who showed no signs of rust in the summer. They finished with a 16-10-1 record and were even crowned champions of the USABL Elite Showcase Series.
Oh, yeah, go!
Although the season was a success, the Nationals were left wanting more, having bowed out in the late stages of multiple tournaments, including the finals of the Frazier World Series. Slugger Santiago Jimenez, who led the team in runs batted in during the summer, knows the team is capable of more.
The last summer tournament, we weren't all satisfied. We took a big L. Now we're just coming back better, trying to win every tournament they put us in.
So the Nationals are losing a lot of production from last season, especially in Felix Ione, who hit 327. He's not with them for the fall season. Brian Dino and Will Lombardo, they both pitched, and Dino played first base. They're not going to be with them for the majority of the season, although they may return from time to time. About 33% of their offense from the summer isn't here, but with the talent they brought in going into the fall, they have a chance to make up that production. The Nationals added a whopping 7 new players to fill out their roster. Although there's always chemistry concerns when you have so many new players come in, the Nationals find themselves in a favorable position to handle that situation. All but 2 players on the entire roster attend either Bayonne High School, Clifton High School, or Seton Hall Prep. That has allowed newcomers like Brandon Coburn,
Connor Reed, Rich Bukowski, Kevin O'Shea, and Josh Bermudez to be more comfortable, although it could be a little nerve-wracking for someone like Cesar Perez, who attends St. Mary's High School, or Malachi Jones, who attends West Orange, to join a team filled with people you don't know. They've been pleased with how their new teammates have welcomed them in.
They really bring me as a family, you know what I'm saying? They really helped me. They told me what to do, told me what the things to do. Like, I usually play center field. They really brought me as right field, helped me out, and they were on base. I just tried to bring them in.
Malachi Jones, who's committed to playing baseball at Bloomfield College upon graduating, did a fantastic job of repaying the favor this past weekend, collecting 5 RBI through just 3 games. Along with the fresh blood coming in, the Nationals are returning their top 3 pitchers in Gerard Perillo, Manny Gonzalez, and Anthony Click. The loss of Felix Ione hurts, but 4 of their 5 top hitters from the summer are on the current team. This current version of the Nationals has high expectations for the fall.
The new guys are talented. I think we got a good ball team for the fall. We can do a lot of damage, and teams better look out for us.
Coaches Rubin, Rojas, and Rivera will have their hands full trying to figure out a rotation for the season. The Nationals frequently hit all 11 during the summer, but with 14 total hitters now on the roster, the dugout is a little more crowded. Balancing playing time with giving your best hitters the most opportunities to shine on the diamond will be one of the keys to a successful season.
We got a deep team, a couple of starters. We swing the bat a little bit. We got to rotate the guys, and hopefully we can play defense at a high level.
So the Nationals got off to a fantastic start in the USABL Frazier Elite World Series down in Toms River. They went 2-0 in pool play and outscored their opponents 13-2. Unfortunately, they lost to the Pennsylvania Rebels in the semifinal game in the next round in extra innings. So we'll have to wait until the next weekend to exercise some of those demons and see what their new team can do. In Toms River, I'm Matthias Wellman, Betty Baseball.
All right, let's get started.
When you think back to the defining plays in sports history, you immediately think of the play itself. But what goes along with those plays? It's the call from the broadcaster.
Back out to Allen, his three-pointer, bang!
The sports radio department at Ithaca College is where underclassmen can develop themselves as sportscasters. Students of all majors can sign up for sports radio and can do a variety of different things on air. Students start by doing a 1.5-minute long sportscast, updating listeners on local and national sports. Along with sportscasts, students are able to help with production or call actual games, which they volunteer for at the weekly meetings.
Basically, we schedule a lot of games where we'll broadcast those games. We'll put a crew together at our meetings during the week.
Peter Zima, baseline jumper is no good.
Although some students have experience with sports radio coming in, it's the first time many of these members are on air. Sports director Cam Pratt knows just as well as anyone how nerve-wracking it is to see the on-air light flash for the first time.
Kind of intimidating coming in, and you notice that with a lot of the freshmen. They're a little bit timid to volunteer for games and different stuff. But I always tell freshmen, you know, I didn't volunteer for too many games early on, and I regretted it.
So with anyone joining, regardless of your exposure coming in, what your grade is, or when you join the club, it's that easy to get involved with how many opportunities Ithaca has. And with any sports fans, it's that easy to get involved, put on a pair of headphones, and just talk about sports. Ex-athletes who are involved in sports radio get a chance to continue their careers in sports from behind the mic and with an interesting perspective.
The famous, like, Mike Breen's bang, and you think of that as a player and how you want to be receiving those calls, and then you think of it later on in your life how you want to, you know, make those calls yourself.
In Ithaca, I'm Matthias Wallman, Sports Weekly.